put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Viewers, back this morning to the Tobago Updates morning show. We are chatting at this time with Jude Rogers, Fire Prevention Officer attached to the Trinidad and Tobago Fire Service. And this morning, viewers, our focus is on fire safety and awareness. Fire safety and awareness can save lives. That's how we say it. Fire safety awareness can save lives. Good morning and welcome to you, Jude Rogers. Good morning. Okay, I'm not hearing you. Are you hearing me? Okay, just to double check the mic. Okay, good morning. Are you hearing me clearly? Okay, I'm still not hearing you. Could you just check the mic one more time? Ensure that your mic is on. Sometimes these things can be just so ticklish. You think you put it on and then it's not on. Yeah? All right, I think we're gonna try again. Because sometimes, okay, he's back. Good morning and welcome to you,
Yeah,
Officer
good morning.
Rogers.
Are you hearing me now?
I am hearing you loud and clear. Thank you so much for being on the program with us. When coming to technology, sometimes it's just one little thing, so we understand. But it's good to have you on the program with us. And this is Jude Rogers, Fire Prevention Officer attached to the Trinidad and Tobago Fire Service. Now, this morning, in fact, let me start off by saying here that we've been seeing some short videos that have been produced by the Trinidad and Tobago Fire Service. And I look at the scenarios and how real these scenarios are with our everyday life. Fire safety awareness can save lives. Do we take things for granted with regards fire safety in Trinidad and Tobago?
The answer to that question is equivocally yes, we do take it because the fact that 700 fires annually. 700 fires in household means we have approximately 2 fires per day. That is a serious, serious issue that we're trying to eliminate. Not only that, we have approximately 25 to 20 deaths annually due to fires, and we can reduce that. We can bring that down to nil.
And I'm happy that you said that. We can bring it down to nil. In one of the videos that was shared, where the mother is pouring hot water from the kettle, there is an extension cord, several sockets in use. She's
Yeah.
pouring hot water very close to the very close to the sockets, the electrical sockets. And I'm thinking here, we charge our cell phones, we have it on the bed, we do these things. This has become somewhat of a normal way of life for many persons. What are we missing? Yes, you said it can be reduced to nil, to zero. But what is it that we're missing? How did we reach here? There was a time when we knew what to do. How did we reach here?
Well, of course, in the fast-paced modern world that we live in, we use more electronical devices. We're using electricity at a higher rate. Everything is fast-paced now. So obviously, with the increase in activity, especially the use of electricity and electronic devices, we now increase the risk and the hazards associated with such. But again, this is a cultural shift that needs to take place, and behaviors need to change. We need to go back to basics, and we need to recognize the value of doing things the right way. So for instance, when we utilize electricity in our homes, we multi-tap because everybody wants to add 1, 2, 3 different electric items to a particular plug. But we're saying that each circuit should carry a certain amount of amperage, and we should not overload those circuits. So if it is that you want to add another piece of equipment and you've run out of plugs, you should have your electrician come to your home and add an additional plug that can take the levels and the load that you're putting on your home. But what we have is a lot of persons are multi-tapping, and that in itself is causing an electrical hazard, which can then lead to an ignition of your home.
And I have to say here that there's a lot of homes, several homes, that would have been wired many years ago, but wired to a particular set of electrical gadgets. And over the years, gadgets were added and the wiring of the home did not upgrade.
It's a
So
very
you're
good
talking
point that
about
you're making.
pressure, you're talking about added pressure or additional pressure on an electrical
Additional
system.
load, additional load on the system. And the point that you're alluding to is the fact that every 5 years, legally, you are responsible for having your electricals in your home recertified by the electrical inspectorate. Now that's an agency that authorizes TNTech to connect your home with an electrical power source. But if you do not do this, if you do not bring back in or call in your electrician, your certified electrician, and you do not have that certificate renewed, you will not be able to even approach TNTech for compensation if in the event that there is a fire due to an electrical source. So it means, therefore, the only way you can verify the circuitry in your home is to conduct that electrical inspectorate inspection every 5 years. And it's your safe mode. By doing so, you're going to be protecting your home and your family's lives.
All right, I was just about to ask you, whose responsibility is it? Is it TNTech's responsibility or is it the homeowner's responsibility to ensure that these checks are carried out every 5 years?
It is the responsibility of the homeowner because it is that certificate that allows you to have access to TNTech's grid. And that is a responsibility of the homeowner. Clearly, the responsibility rests on the shoulders of the homeowner. But many of us build our homes and we never ever go back. 20 years past, 30 years past, the wiring in our home has degraded over time. And that has a very, very, very disastrous effect.
How can we fireproof our homes? You're talking about a family in a home. How do we begin to educate our children? What should we have in place? How can we fireproof our home?
Right, so starting off, we want to eliminate materials in our building or construction. You can actually eliminate fires from your home in the sense that you can eliminate the effects of fires by using building materials that are non-combustible. So a simple fix could be, if you currently have a wooden roof, it's over 20 years old, 30 years old, the possibility is that you may want to seek to change that roof out at some point in time and use a metal roof, meaning the members, the structural members is steel, and you may also want to use a gypsum ceiling instead of a PVC or wooden ceiling. Now, that is not to negate the fact that persons may use wooden members for decorative purposes because it's very beautiful. So for persons who still utilize the wood, I'm saying you must have smoke detection in your home and you must have a fire extinguisher within your home as well. And I can make recommendations right now for members of the public who want to know where should you locate these smoke detectors, where should I, and what type of fire extinguisher I should have for my home.
Okay, and just by putting these gadgets in place, we're off to a very good start.
Definitely, because what the real killer here when you have a fire is the fact that you cannot detect it. And if you cannot, if you have early detection, it means that you can mitigate. It means that you can take evasive measures, you can evacuate, or you can fight the fire using an extinguisher. And so to do so, you would want to have a smoke detector. You could simply use a battery-operated smoke detector. It's very inexpensive, and it can be located in each bedroom where persons sleep because the sleeping risk is what is most difficult in a time of a fire. Imagine a fire takes place at 3 a.m. in the morning and you cannot awaken out of sleep. Sometimes 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes pass. The fire has already grown and you have a smoke-filled room, and we cannot breathe hot air and gases. And smoke inhalation is the real killer in a fire. So early warning devices such as smoke detectors allow us to respond very quickly and very effectively.
Okay, thank you so much. When we were growing up, my dad had a sign placed. He was into signs, and he had a sign placed at the door just as we were exiting the door. So the last person, in fact, as we were leaving the door, we would always check that sign, and that sign ensure that the lights are off, ensure that the heater is unplugged, ensure that. And we checked, we just ran through the list very quickly. So as we're coming up, we said, is the gas off? Are the lights off? Is the this off? Is the that off? And really that helped to put us into a gear of when we're leaving home to ensure that certain things were switched off, unplugged, or turned off.
That is an excellent, excellent way of preparing yourself or for protecting your homes. Because a lot of us, as you rightfully said, would leave items on sometimes when we leave in a hurry. And those are the challenges that we face.
Yes, thank you so much. And who can persons give us the number again for if there's an emergency and they need to contact the fire service department throughout Tobago and Trinidad, what is the number to call?
The number for the fire service in Trinidad and Tobago is 990. 990 is your lifeline. Remember, once you call that number, you want to give them that pertinent information that's going to allow you to get the fire service to respond as quickly as possible to your emergency. Please give them landmarks, your name, a cell phone contact number so they can call you back and make sure that they stay in contact with you and guide you through the process. And as you know, the fire service, once with our resources, we will do our best. We will do our utmost best to get to your call and respond effectively.
Thank you so much for chatting with us this morning, Officer Rogers. Always a pleasure to have you on the program with us. I know that you're wishing right now that you were in Tobago. We know that for certain. You're always wishing that you're in Tobago. Thank you again. Thank you again for being on the program with us. Well, viewers, we're going to leave it there. We want to thank you so much for joining us this morning. We want to thank all our guests who were on the program and all our comments on the live. We thank you so much for the comments. But, you know, TV world is very different, very, very different. And there are things that happen in the background that we cannot always explain. We may not always understand, but it is the working of a TV world, I'll have to say. But we want to thank all of you and your comments this morning. We're heading over into Tobago Notes, even as we go over to GMT. Again, thank you for joining us. Julian is going to be back with us tomorrow. So have a great day, Tobago. Tobago Notes, and then GMT with Candace. Have a great day. Bye-bye.